Book Review: Three Mothers by Hannah Beckerman. Hannah Beckerman's Three Mothers is a searing exploration of maternal love, guilt, secrets, and sacrifice. With raw emotional honesty and a tightly woven plot, Beckerman navigates the lives of three women bound together by a terrible tragedy, the hit-and-run death of a teenage girl named Isla. What unfolds is not just a domestic thriller, but a compassionate and deeply layered look at what it means to be a mother, and what we'll do to protect the ones we love most. A tragic catalyst. At the heart of the story is Isla Richardson, a 17-year-old girl killed in a hit-and-run outside her home. Her death becomes the catalyst that unravels not only her own story but the lives of three women whose worlds are irrevocably changed: her mother Abby, her mother's best friend Nicole, and a woman named Jenna, whose connection to the tragedy becomes clear as the novel progresses. The novel alternates between the perspectives of these three women and moves fluidly across timelines, before and after Isla's death, creating a layered narrative that slowly reveals long-held secrets, simmering tensions, and impossible choices. Beckerman excels at drip-feeding information without ever feeling manipulative. Instead, she allows readers to live with these characters, to breathe in their fears, their heartbreak, and their desperate attempts to make sense of the senseless. The Mothers, Three Perspectives, Three Heartbreaks. Abby Richardson. Abby is perhaps the emotional anchor of the novel. Having already lost her husband, Isla's death shatters the life she's fought to hold together. Her grief is deep and authentic, written with such care that the pages feel heavy with it. But Beckerman refuses to allow Abby to remain just a grieving mother. As Abby searches for answers, how Isla died, who was responsible, and whether there was more going on in her daughter's life than she ever realized, she uncovers secrets that force her to confront uncomfortable truths. Abby's chapters delve into the messy terrain of parental guilt. What do we do when we realize we didn't know our child as well as we thought? When Beckerman reveals the extent of Isla's own struggles, ones Abby missed or misunderstood, it isn't done for shock value. It's an indictment of how easy it is, even with the best intentions, to look without really seeing. Nicole Moore. Nicole is Abby's best friend, and her narrative brings in the tension of divided loyalties. She is a mother to two boys, and her role in the story is perhaps the most morally complicated. Early in the novel, there are subtle hints that Nicole may be holding something back. As readers, we watch her struggle to support Abby through her grief while quietly managing a storm brewing within her own family. Nicole's dilemma becomes a central moral question in the book. What do we do when our loyalty to a friend collides with our loyalty to our children? Beckerman doesn't hand us easy answers. Instead, Nicole's journey is written with empathy, showing us the toll that secrets and protective instincts can take on even the most well-meaning people. Her internal conflict is among the most powerful in the novel. Beckerman captures the anguish of being stuck between right and wrong when either choice feels remotely survivable. Jenna Fox. Jenna is the most mysterious of the three mothers. For a significant portion of the novel, her connection to Isla and the others remains unclear. She is a single mother with a troubled teenage son, and it's clear from the beginning that she is running from something, or someone. As Jenna's backstory unfolds, Beckerman explores the darker side of parenting, the desperation of trying to escape a violent past, the terror of watching your child make mistakes that could cost him everything, and the emotional and financial toll of being a single parent navigating an unforgiving world. Jenna's narrative is filled with dread and quiet devastation. She is a woman trying to build a better future for her son, even if it means compromising her own safety and integrity. Through Jenna, Beckerman shines a light on how societal systems fail vulnerable families, and how judgment and privilege often determine which mothers are offered grace, and which are left behind. Themes: motherhood, morality, and the masks we wear. At its core, Three Mothers is about the many faces of motherhood. Abby, Nicole, and Jenna represent different types of mothers, each facing unique but equally harrowing challenges. Beckerman resists romanticizing motherhood. Instead, she presents it as the complex, high-stakes role it truly is. These women are not perfect. They are not always good. But they are human, and their choices, while sometimes deeply flawed, are always understandable within the emotional context Beckerman so brilliantly creates. Another major theme in the book is secrecy, the things we hide from others, and the things we hide from ourselves. Beckerman explores how secrets fester, how they can offer protection but also poison relationships. Each of the three women is keeping something back, and as the reader learns more, the morality of their decisions becomes more difficult to parse. Three Mothers also delves into privilege and social expectation. There's a stark contrast between how society treats Abby, a middle-class white mother, and Jenna, a working-class single mom who has experienced domestic violence. Beckerman highlights these disparities without preaching, using the characters' lived experiences to speak volumes. Narrative structure and pacing, the novel's structure, moving between three perspectives and two timelines, requires a deft hand, and Beckerman handles it with admirable control. The pacing is deliberate but never slow. By revealing just enough in each chapter to keep the suspense alive, Beckerman ensures that the novel maintains its grip from beginning to end. There are no cheap twists here, rather, the revelations come naturally, often devastatingly, and with emotional weight. It's the kind of book that builds tension not through explosive action, but through the accumulation of small details, conversations, and choices. Every chapter adds another layer of complexity, another question about love, loyalty, and consequences. Writing style and voice, Beckerman's prose is elegant without being over-stylized. Her greatest strength lies in how she captures emotional nuance. The way Abby reflects on motherhood, the way Nicole agonizes over her moral crossroads, and the way Jenna navigates the brutal realities of her life, all of it feels lived in and authentic. There are also moments of lyrical beauty in Beckerman's writing. Sentences that take your breath away in their simplicity. Observations that cut deep. It's a book that doesn't just tell a story, it holds up a mirror. Critical reception and reader response. Though Three Mothers was not yet released at the time of writing this review, scheduled for May 2025, early reader feedback from ARC reviewers and NetGalley has been overwhelmingly positive. Readers have praised the novel's character-driven storytelling, its emotional honesty, and its timely exploration of women's lives in contemporary society. One reviewer wrote, "This novel tore me apart and stitched me back together. I saw myself in all three women, sometimes too clearly." Another said, "A quiet kind of thriller, the kind that leaves you reeling not from what happened, but from why it happened." That sentiment encapsulates what makes Three Mothers stand out. It doesn't rely on high-concept plotting or shocking twists. It relies on truth, painful, raw, and human. Final thoughts. A must-read for fans of domestic fiction, Three Mothers is a deeply compassionate, intelligent, and emotionally resonant novel. It is a book that will likely stay with readers long after they've turned the final page. With characters that feel as real as your own friends, Beckerman confronts us with questions we all hope we'll never have to answer. How far would you go to protect your child? What secrets would you keep? And what happens when the truth finally demands to be seen, in an age where women are constantly scrutinized for their choices? Especially as mothers, Three Mothers offers a nuanced, humane counter-narrative. It's a reminder that behind every mother is a story we don't yet know. And sometimes, that story is the key to everything. Highly recommended for readers of Celestine, Leanne Moriarty, Lisa Jewell, and Jodi Picoult.